Good evening, students. First, we'll go for a recap of organizing. Then we'll start our new topic today, that is importance of organizing.
Organizing plays a very vital role. I've given one example of yours. If you want to score better, what you need to organize, and then the concept of organizing, it is concerned with identifying and grouping the different activities and bringing together the physical, financial, and human resource to establish the most productive relationship for the achievement of stated objective. This definition I've already given you in previous chapter number 1, and this definition is here also according to Heyman and Henry Fuel. Also the definition has been given to you. Organizing process we started afterward. Organizing process is having only 4 steps. This is the second process in your business studies. And in 4 process, number 1 is identification and division of work, number 2 is departmentalization, number 3 is assignment of duties, number 4 is establishing reporting relationship. In the first one, identification and division of work, we have to identify the whole task of the organization and split it into small units. Each unit is denoted as job. It is the set of tasks to be performed. Coming to the next point, whenever we are dividing the work, we have to check the specialization. The person should have the specialization in that particular work and should have the skill. One more thing we have to take care while we are dividing the work or creating a job, at that time we have to check there should not be any duplication of work. So we have to ensure that the work should be according to the specialization and skill and should not be repeated, should not be duplicated or chaos created. Each worker has a specific task. This image you can see, you can understand that everyone is having a different task and they are busy in doing their own work. So this we have to ensure in case of identification and division of work. The second step in the process of organizing is departmentalization, where we group the similar nature activities and related jobs into one unit, and each unit is known as department. This process is known as departmentalization. The department will be specialized in one particular thing, one particular task, and it is created for the specialization. All the different departments of the organization should have interdependence of each other. There should be a coordination between them and there should be a unity of action. Departmentation can be done through the function, product, or territories of the company. There is a chart which shows that how the departments are created. The third point in the process of organizing is assignment of duties. Assignment of duties concerned with giving duties to the person whosoever is getting a job position. So whatever the work the person has to do, that has to be defined earlier. That is called assignment of duties. Means the whole work that a person has to do on a particular job is to be defined earlier in organizing, and that is called assignment of duties. Once departments are formed and department is placed under the charge of an individual, jobs are assigned to an individual best suited to perform it. The person whosoever do that job should have the qualification accordingly, should have experience, ability, aptitude according to the job assigned to him. The last point in the process of organizing is establishing reporting relationship. Establishing reporting relationship means granting requisite authority to enable employees to perform the job satisfactorily. Now coming to the point, creates management hierarchy, a chain of command from the top manager to individual at the lowest level. This is establishing reporting relationship. One thing which is important in establishing reporting relationship is that when you are creating the job and assigning the duty, you must ensure that there should be a reporting relationship, that who reports to whom. If the worker is doing the work or his job satisfactorily, then how we can judge it that he has done his work well? Because he has to report his work to somebody, and he has to report to the person who will be in superiority of him, so that there should be a reporting relationship should be established. Now coming to the important point of today is importance of organizing. Important question. Usually it comes in the board exam for 4 or 5 marks. So it's an important one to learn. That is why big theory is there. Benefits of specialization is the first importance of organizing. In organizing, every individual is assigned a part of total work and not the whole task. This division of work into smaller unit and repetitive performance leads to specialization. So, organizing promotes a specialization, which in turn leads to efficient and speedy performance of tasks. What it means to say, importance of organizing, the first importance is benefit of specialization. In organizing, we want a specialization so that whatever job we created should be performed by the person who is having that particular qualification and skill to perform that. This will give a specialization to the person who has been assigned the job. The second one is clarity in the working relationship. There should be a clarity in the working relationship. As we have understand the process of organizing, there was a last point that there should be a reporting relationship between the employees. There should be a relationship of superior and subordinate. So when the superior subordinate relation is created through authority and responsibility of each job, definitely superior subordinate relationship clarify the working condition of an employee. Effective administration. We need an effective administration. In the case of importance of organizing, effective administration is important. It came in the case studies also. Effective administration, how it is possible? It provides a clear description of job and related duties, which help to avoid confusion and duplication. Clarity in working relationship enables proper execution of work, which result in effective administration. So remember one thing, while you are doing the organizing, that should be organized in such a way that there should be a clear job description, there should be a clear duties definitions, there should be a clear coordination, and there should be a clear authority responsibility relationship between the workers. When these all four things clear, then there will be definitely an effective administration, and organizing help to create an effective administration. So four things you have to keep in your mind in effective administration. Number one, clear description of job. There is a question of 1 mark in the board exam earlier. I don't know which year it was, but that was a question in the board exam. And the question was, explain what you mean by job description. So there should be a clear job description, means what you have to do in the job, that should be clearly defined. And the related duties also should be defined. When you are in that job, not only this, but this also you have to do and you are responsible for. One more thing is important, that is there should not be a duplication or confusion. Duplication of work should not be there, confusion should not be there. And last but not least, the working relationship should be very much clear. And it can be clear only when you are establishing superior subordinate relationship through authority and responsibility. The fourth one is optimum utilization of resources. This is an important point. You can add it anywhere in the importance in any of five functions of management. So here in importance you can use is optimum utilization of resources. How optimum utilization of resources, the proper assignment of job, avoiding overlapping and duplication of work. This helps in preventing confusion and minimizing the wastage of resources and efforts. So when the relationships are clear, when the job assignment is clear, then there will be no overlapping of work, no duplication of work, no chaos, and hence the working conditions will be optimum, because in such condition there will be no wastage of resources and no wastage of time. Number 5, adoption to change. I have already explained the word adoption. There are two words, adapt, adopt. There is a requirement of flexibility. Whenever there is a requirement of change, there that change can be adopted. So, organizing, once we create the organizational structure, it go on for the whole year. So, adoption is needed in this. Development of personnel. Personnel, I told you that personnel means employees. So, in organizing, we have to take care of the development of personnel. Sound organization encourages initiative and relative thinking on part of the employees. When managers delegate their authority, it reduces their workload so they can focus on more important issues related to growth and innovation. Just a minute. So, a sound organization encourages initiative and relative thinking on part of the employees. Initiative and relative thinking on part of employees. Employees takes initiative and they go for thinking process in the organizational structure if you are making that in such a manner. When manager delegate their authority, manager is giving a part of his authority to the subordinate. It reduces their workload so they can focus on more important issues related to the growth and innovation. This also develop the subordinates the ability to help them. Okay. Development of personnel means what? Whenever the manager gives his own authority to the subordinates to reduce his own workload so that he can take care of the other important issues, then all the manager's work means a small part of manager's work will have to be done by the subordinates, and this will give them a development way, an opportunity to develop himself or herself by taking the ability of the managers, and they use this with their own full potential. Okay, so remember it, to develop the employees we need to give the managerial authorities to them. Whenever they have some authority to take decision by themselves, they will be well versed with that particular task, and they go for innovative ideas and all. So this has to be inculcated in the organizational structure, that a delegation should be there. Delegation, yesterday I explained you, here the word delegation used. Delegation means giving the authority, a part of authority to the subordinates. That is delegation. Giving a part of authority to the subordinates, that is delegation. Okay. So this is what a development of personnel. Last but not least, expansion and growth. Organizational structure should be created in such a manner that organization or the business can grow. It helps in grow and diversification of an enterprise. Diversification का अगर हम एक रास्ते पे देखें तो रास्ता जब डाइवर्ट होता है, when the way is diverted, so you can see that one way is going to this direction and another way is going to this direction. So when we are dealing with one product, that is our own business, when we go for another product or another type of business, so this will be called the diversification. Growth in terms of increase in the number of employees, growth in terms of increase in the number of branches, in the turnover, this creates the growth, whereas diversification means establishing another business, establishing another product. Okay, this is diversification. So while the peoples are going for diversification or growth, they have to take care a lot. इसके पीछे इतनी research, इतना R&D होता है, you can't believe. Can you please tell me the difference between the Patanjali products of FMCG and the other companies, the top companies products like ITC, like Procter and Gamble and all, Reckitt Benckiser. A lot of products we are using, but we don't know the name of the company because they have a different brand name of every product. But Patanjali is doing the work with only single brand name Patanjali. Atta noodle Patanjali, tail Patanjali, everything Patanjali. When we go to ITC, there are several different products like Dove, ITC, and one tea is also there, that of ITC. Which one? There are several products. Means they have a different brand name, and that is why nobody knows the name of ITC. But nowadays, everybody know the name of Patanjali because Patanjali is giving the brand name of his own company's name to every product.